And now, his dungeon is not found on the overworld map. But you may recall, when we were playing his chapter, he didn't have a run option. He had a teleport option. So this being kind of a unique little thing, we can teleport. And to find his dungeon, we're going to have to. Also, this is going to build up a run counter. Aha. And now, through teleportation, the large blob of wasabi, huh? Yeah, that could be a problem if you get large blobs of wasabi. Generally not a whole lot of fun. So now we are in Akira's dungeon, through random teleportations. Luckily we started in the good spot to start, so we don't have to do a lot of backtracking to get through here. I'm going to use this chapter as an excuse to try to get close to the 100 teleports without having to use Akira to fight. And yes, remember how I mentioned that running early was a bad thing? Now that's because you only get to run 100 times. Kind of. Around time 95, something will happen, and you'll get to see that eventually. But for now, we have random people popping up from these little blue flames, and they won't talk to us. But Akira can read their minds and their spirits. And words cannot express something about Orsted. A large percentage of them are going to say something very much akin to that. And of course he just goes that traitor Orsted is the true Demon King. And if we go down here, we run into a fight. Luckily, teleporting won't get us out of this dungeon, because once we leave, we cannot come back to it. Get ourselves treasure. And this is just going to say, you know, words cannot express. I think all the little soldier-looking dudes say something close to that. Huh. Oh yeah, there aren't a lot of visuals in You Don't Know Jack you really need to worry about most of the time. I mean, that's kind of one of the beautiful things about You Don't Know Jack. So do I want to go there or there? Because where I am, there. Yeah, I think I need to go there first. Okay. there aren't many radio stations anywhere that do requests anymore. It's kind of sad. And look, there's the kid that called Orsted a hero and was the Orsted fanboy, and still thinks it's a lie that he can't be the king. He can't be the Demon King. But yeah, they don't do requests because there aren't any actual live DJs in most radio stations anymore. They pretty much just have a MP3 playlist or something very similar to that they just plug in, and that even includes the sound bites from the DJs. And a nightmare helmet. It's one of those sad but true things. And another just basic grunt soldier. So yeah, again, just another soldier that cannot find the words to describe Orsted. Because, you know, Orsted is just that despicable, really. I'm just trying to remember something now. I think they both lead to the same place. Yeah, they partly are to blame. And all the king has to say about it is this is the end. Yeah, the king didn't do anything. But remember, nobody actually knows the truth. Except for Strabo and Orsted. Those are the only two that know the truth of everything that happened. And then most of these people just watched Orsted come in and stab the king. That's about all they know. So I don't know, if you ask me, well, not necessarily. Why would they learn anything? I don't see how they would actually learn anything from all this. Because who's telling them anything in death? They're just a wandering spirit now. Andy Poland. And there's Strabo. The actual cause of all this. And he's just like, is it my fault? Yes. That's the simplest question of all time to answer. Is it my fault he's become the... Yes! Every last bit of this, your goddamn fault. Ah, okay. There's Hash, who just notices, like, man, he hates people even more than I do. And all he has to say is, that fool. Which, those two are fairly blameless and everything. They even tried to help. And now we have Akira's ultimate weapon. But from that... yeah, the King, Hash, and Uranus. From there, we see the princess, who still won't just outright talk to us. But... and now she wants us to stop him. And by reading her mind, we end... Buzz Lipman was not popular. We end up right back here. Yeah, that's why they had him go through the trapdoors. So the Gutsy Glove is a definite increase for Akira. And you can actually equip that in one of two spots, but just having it there for the buffs it gives is better than the normal. So anyway, we could attempt to do another dungeon, but I don't think the other two dungeons we have can be completed in an easy half hour. Instead, let's unequip all this, because we are literally done with Akira for the rest of the game as far as I'm concerned. Get Masaru back, and Akira can go take a nap in front of that, house. I don't like the Nightmare Helmet because of the severe drop it gives. I think that mask maybe is there. He needs the aerial glove on. Yeah, that may be worth the IQ drop. Because it's such a huge power boost. Save. And now, we can do the reason we never want to run, and do a lot of running. Because we did not want to run before this point, because we did not have all three of the pieces of the aerial stuff. And now, we need to cumulatively run 100 times. You'll know when you're close, because the thing will happen. What cartoon series was he doing? Just out of curiosity. So I'm just trying to get into fights now. Walking in there does not help me. I need to stop that. A lot of running. Slowly work my way up close to the peak of the mountain, because more than likely this is going to be the last thing I get to do on the stream for this game tonight. So I want to get set up to do the students dungeon. And I know I probably should have been running a bit more earlier. I just really did not want to trip the thing that's going to happen early. Because it can get really unpleasant if you face it without the aerial equipment you can get from here. There is a small part of me that's afraid I'm going to miss the queue. I don't think I can. I don't think the game will let you miss the queue. But still, there's a small part of me that's just afraid I'm not going to see it. Come on, enemies. You were all over me a second ago. I realize it's getting close to 6 o'clock. Yes, I am aware. That said, I would still like to get this part taken care of. I have a feeling I'm going to actually try to finish this bit out, regardless of what time it is. So I may go a little extra today just to get this bit over with. On the plus side, you will be sure to see just about every enemy combination there is in this area. Then again, I think we already did that. Still can't open the cabin. Be nice if we could. I'm sure there might have been some nice stuff inside. Sadly, we will never know. Come on. So how's everybody else doing? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Sadly, I did not have the time to set this up and already have everything ground out once I got to this point, because I kind of ran out of time. I am also, probably apparently, but having a little trouble focusing directly on the screen, constantly doing this. Oh, I wish there were a counter. I mean, I know it'll happen eventually, but I'd like to know just how many I've already gone through. It'd have been a more interesting thing if they'd said run from 100 enemies instead of just run from 100 battles. And again, that would have made it much more difficult if you actually did need to start doing a lot of running. And I will say this, it is kind of nice that fleeing is pretty much an automatic thing. There aren't very many cases where you have to make a check to flee. So I need to have one hand to take care of that here. So what about that there local sports team, huh? There we go. We have now run 95 times. And for doing so, we get called a coward by a mysterious voice. That took forever. 5 more times, I dare you. Is basically what it says. So now, for the rest of this chapter, that counter will be hanging over us. He said 4 more times. Come on, I dare you. Run 4 more times. Three more. Come on, enemies, don't disappear on me now. We're almost there. Two more. And yeah, even if we go to a different area, or even if we complete a dungeon without running, the next time we run, it will actually still have that countdown. And this will do it, I hope. You have fled 100 times. So, this is the Harbinger of Doom. You cannot escape when I have been called. And once again, the scenery all goes dark. And we meet the Death Prophet. So yes, that is essentially a black saber-toothed tiger. I guess that would be a saber-toothed panther, wouldn't it? So, you know, just, so he ran all those times just to run into this guy. And you kind of wonder if, you know, if it might actually be worth anything. But yeah, it's actually not the worst thing in the world to run into this guy. He is tough. There's no doubt about the fact that he is actually fairly difficult. But his main thing is he turns people to stone. Which is why you wanted the aerial pieces before even coming anywhere near this guy. So hopefully you equip the aerial pieces on, you know, people that can use them. But use the best things you can. And he really doesn't like sundown there. But fortunately for us, stone is sundown was the only one that could get stoned. And he's gonna keep beating on sundown. Unfortunately, high speed op may restore some hit points, and it will restore stone. But it's not going to restore a ton of hit points. And since he's taking so much of a beating there, it hurts. But leveled up, the Death Prophet is not that impressive. Outside of the stone ability he has. And it drops aerial mail. The reason you wanted 3 aerial pieces before you even came into that is because, well, it's fast, gets a lot of attacks in, etc., etc. But now we can give that to you. And yeah. We have 2 sub-dungeons left, and the main trek, and through it all, 1 more piece of aerial armor is out there. Nothing happens. You only get it the one time. You only get the run 100 one time. So anyway, now that we've done that, I think this marks a good stopping spot. Because yes, this is a very long chapter. All the various things you have to do, and keep in mind, it was about 3 hours to grind everybody up to level 20. Considering that you don't gain levels and experience very fast once you hit level 16. And we had members at level 2 and level 9 and the like. So yeah, everybody needed to get to level 20 first. But that was about 3 hours that we just got to skip right at the beginning, or else we would barely be started with this chapter. So anyway, yeah. That will do it. And for the first time in this game, we're actually ending a stream in mid-chapter. After all, we've also had those chapters that we ran 2 of in one day. Yeah, next week, we will be back. We will continue our farming ways in Stardew Valley. And then, unless disaster strikes, we should be able to finish out Live I'll Live. Because I'm pretty sure the last 2 dungeons will not take 2 hours each. And leave us with another whole thing. I'm pretty sure. Matter of fact, we will probably have some leftover time. There's a good chance of that. And if we do, we will see. We will see if there's anything we can do to fill the time. If not, hey, we timed it right. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for talking with me in the stream. Thanks for not abandoning me when I had to grind out 100 fleas. 100 fleds. 100 runs? And some teleports? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, take care, folks. I will see you again next week.